There we go, grab that real quick, get the link, and begin. On. And there we go. Just had to share stream link and should be good to go. All right, so there's a couple things I want to like show off today and also let people see. So for anybody that hasn't seen it, Unity has a new like dialogue graph editor system, and it allows people to actually create really quick and easy like graph tools. It's called Graph UI Toolkit. You can actually go into I just gonna show like it's literally like version 1, like it is the first version of the Graph Toolkit. But I was actually going to work on dialogue system today and actually see how well I can get it. I've already worked with it a little bit, and I can actually show what I've already made with it. So for now, I'll show first what I have. So I have it where I can actually create different nodes. I can actually create like quest context, animation contexts, and stuff like that. And basically, for anybody wondering like what's the difference between like you might notice there's like nodes and then there's like contexts. So like there's like a start dialogue node here, and then there's like a actual like a dialogue entry context node. So context nodes are basically what allows you to have like several subnodes and stuff in them. So you'll see like I have like different like test things out. And you can actually add like little blocks of data inside a context node. So context node allows you to add like multiple like blocks inside of them. So that's kind of just a rough thing. And if I actually show this off, so if I actually go to my dialog database, this is my testing. I'm going to actually delete element 9 real quick. I'm going to delete this and I'm going to just show this. Whoops. Oh. So if I actually hit save here, you'll notice I actually created the 9th element, and I actually have like my speaker, my player, and all my text that's actually inside of this one. And you'll notice that since this 4th one was empty, it's empty in here too. So you'll also notice that the GUID is not the same. I gotta work on a few things. Like I said, this is kind of me working on it and trying to get more used to it. So yeah, that's basically what we got. First thing I want to do is make this a little bit better setup, because at the current moment, I have like 2 different nodes. You go like start dialogue node and then like context node. I want to have it where I don't need like a start node and I can just have like entry context node. I've done a few things already, so I'm actually going to just go ahead and start like working on that and just work from there. So I'm going to go to scripts and just start working on it. I'm going to actually create a folder for nodes. I'm going to just say dialogue entry node, because when I was doing the tests and stuff, I just like threw the nodes in here like the same class as dialogue graph. And for anybody wondering, so 50 lines of code, literally that's like 50 lines of code is all you need to actually create this like UI, not including the actual nodes itself. But that's literally all you need to just start like dialogue and stuff. Or sorry, start creating like node system. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to be getting rid of some of these. These are literally was testing. So I'm actually going to take this and I'm going to just go ahead and start. Probably should actually separate the context nodes from normal nodes inside folders to just make it a little bit more cleaner. So let's go, and we're going to just go and set this up. So I want to make it where like with the dialogue system, I can create like dynamic options where like if you have an item in your inventory or if you have like a status vector or something like that, the conversation can change. Or like if you're doing like a part of a quest, it might change like based on what kind of quest you're like, what step of the quest you're on. So there's a few different things I want to do for this. I'm going to actually move the dialogue, my old dialogue class over here. That way I can actually have it, and we're going to just do this. So Nice. I'm gonna just copy my current version of this, and I'll actually go through this real quick with people, just show it off. Pull in the actual like namespace and stuff. So for anybody wondering how you create like a node, so specifically a context node. So if you notice a little green head like line at the top that like denotes like a context node. To create a context node, all you got to do is inherit from context node. A dialog node is my custom interface. It's just to say, hey, this is a node for like my dialog system. You can use what is called define options and override it. Basically, the define options allows you to actually set kind of, how should I go here? There we go. Define options allows you to like set options and fields you can actually put at the top of your context thing. So like conversation ID, like what database I'm saying to, and different options and stuff. And options are useful because inside the override method, or override for the onDefined ports method, you can actually seed options and you can actually read the options. So like if you see here, I have if allow interceptions, it'll automatically add an input port. So basically the options allow you to change values of like what kind of port you have and what kind of data is actually inside your ports. And if you notice, the context node, I'm actually going to create an empty one, makes this a little bit easier for everyone to see. So you notice that I have the start node here and then the dialog entry node. So that's actually the start node. So you'll see context nodes can have input nodes, and then I have like an output node. Output port node technically is. So that's actually how I'm getting these. And then you can actually have inside of the blocks, you can actually have each block have their own like little output thing. So yeah, so that's just little general stuff for that. And the dialog block node here, so that is actually another, you have dialog context nodes, and then you have block nodes, and block nodes are nodes you could put inside of a context node. I'm going to create a thing. I'm going to just create a folder called block nodes. Let's do dialog. Ooh, I spelled that wrong. Dialog. I'm going to just say dialog entry node, or entry node. Actually, I should probably rename the original thing conversation entry. Conversation entry. No, it seems like a long name, dialog conversation entry, but that actually matches like the runtime class that I actually use to read the text inside my thing. And what I mean by that is if I actually go to my dialog system, if I actually go to dialog system, I have like a dialog conversation class. And inside the dialog conversation class, each dialog conversation has different like dialog entries. So that's why I'm naming that node like the dialog conversation entry context node. To basically like match that class. Can let that recompile real quick. And we can do this. So conversation, I actually need to rename that. Should make sure like these are like block nodes. Yeah, that probably said that actually sounds a lot better. So I do have one node over here. Let me grab this real quick. So this is the old node I was doing when I was just testing this out. I'm going to actually rename this. First, got to grab this and get the namespaces and stuff in. And then there we go. So basically, you have a actual block node that actually can be put inside the conversation nodes. The use with context, you'll notice that actually is referencing like the actual original context node I created. So you use with context to say, hey, this block node can be placed inside of this context node. Actually, before I forget, I'm gonna have to actually delete this graph because I'm renaming some classes. So might break on me for a second, but that's okay. I was planning on doing this anyways. So I'm actually going to do this, and I am going to make sure I have all this stuff out of the way. And whenever I hit save, it will give me an A error because like when I was doing testing, I was actually look at, oh wait, I accidentally oh wait, I forgot. I was removing it from the old class, but I forgot to hit save on the old class. That's my bad. I was like, why is it saying there's two of that? Okay, yeah, there we go. That's the error I was expecting. Gonna rename this to conversation entry block node. And I need to do that one other place. There we go. And now, once that recompiles after I've renamed everything, yep. Yep, that is, oh yeah, they don't have like a support for, if you rename something, it kind of like breaks for a second. So I actually have to like close it down, but that's okay. I'm gonna actually be creating a new thing. Okay, I'm gonna say main character, main NPCs. So my goal is we're gonna have it where I can actually just create a graph per like a main character that starts it. So like an example, let's say Thanatos. And it's actually going to give me like one error for a second. And the reason why is originally I had it where the dialog graph, whenever you're creating custom dialog graph, you can actually tell it to do like error checking, like custom error checking. I originally had it where if you don't have a start dialog graph node, it will not, like it'll say, hey, don't forget to add that. I'm actually going to get rid of this. And because I'm thinking I might be able to actually no longer have to use like a dialog graph node or start node. So my goal here is instead of doing dialog entry node that I used to do, or like start dialog node, I want to make it where I no longer have to do that, and I can actually just use a dialog entry context node. So what I'm going to do is actually get rid of this now. I'm going to say this is dialog. I'm going to say I'm going to just give this a random thing. There we go. And we can actually start like adding stuff down. And yeah. So originally, this is where I was actually like reading it. All right, so we originally was using a start dialog graph node. I don't want to do that anymore, and the reason why is I want to make it where I can have like multiple conversations from one character on one graph. That way I can just have like a graph per character and organize it. So instead of saying start node here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually try to do this conversation. Actually, dialog entry content, or I should rename this real quick. I'm actually gonna delete that. Way it doesn't like give me an error whenever I do this. I'm gonna actually say dialog conversation, or let's say conversation node. conversation node or context node. There we go. And save all those. And then I'm going to say conversation context node. And what I'm going to do is do this. For now, I'm actually okay with this being first or default. I just want to make sure like the change I'm doing is actually working. Now I can actually go in here and I'm going to make it where, oh yeah, I am going to let this still have something to side here. And the reason why is I want to make it where like you could have like a choice node. So like your dialogue, you'll have like choice node options. And that way people can actually choose like what node to go to. So yeah, let's do conversation. I'm going to just, actually, let's go ahead and rename this. Nope, gotta rename this. There we go, conversation node. And let's begin. Okay, so first things first, conversation node, there was no, instead of saying that the dialogue node options, what we're going to do is I can actually go here and I'm actually going to say we're going to do a couple different things here. First one is so I can actually just like easily like copy this over. I'm going to put this here. Conversation context node. Yeah. Constant string. I'm going to just place this down here. The reason why I'm making constant strings is if I actually go into like the graph importer, you'll see here that you can get node by option name. So what I want to do is I want to have it where I can just get that string by node. Okay, and I just want to do that. Grab that, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually make sure that I don't have anything. Also, the node, the name and string you pass in here, it's actually like serialized. So like even if you change certain values, as long as the name stays the same and the value, the old value is like convertible to new value, it should stay. You shouldn't lose like anything you have in there. So let's do this. All right, so interrupt conversation. So I'm gonna do that. And instead of saying start node, I'm gonna say input input node. So now if I save all these, make sure I didn't miss any spot whenever I was renaming stuff. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so now I can actually choose my dialog database. I could actually, I'm gonna be a lazy person, just copy my test ID here. I'm gonna just copy in there. I'm gonna add a new conversation block. I should be able to at least, yeah. So I'm gonna say Thanatos. And I'm gonna just say welcome all. Okay. And I'm gonna just test this out real quick. Okay. Thanatos, welcome all, and we're gonna just say I'm just doing dummy dialogue text right now. All right, so if I hit save here, it should add it over here. Right, okay, I just realized that. So I need to I gotta rename or redo this one switch statement just because I am no longer using a start node. That's okay. All right, so let's actually do this real quick. Okay, so get option, dialog db name, check. Get next node. And then, okay, yeah. If node is null, and then we can actually say process next node. Oh, actually, before I forget, we need to process the first node first. Process the, actually, I don't even need a comment there. I get it. For now, I don't need this anymore. I had a while loop here. Actually, I'm gonna put this down here inside the comment state just in case I come back and might say, maybe I do need it. So let's actually do this. So let's actually go and like I said, I had working implementation partially, but I wanted to change how it works. Okay, there we go. I do apologize if you guys hear my dog barking. So if I now hit save. Yay! Okay, there we go. All right. I am gonna have to remember that, hey, I need to make it where it's like a positive number. Okay. So I'm gonna try this again. Okay. So I need to now link to GUIDs and stuff. I also need to give the name to like the conversation. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm actually gonna go to conversation context. I'm gonna just conversation name. Conversation name. Maybe conversation title. Yeah, I'm actually gonna. Nah. Yeah, this works. I'm gonna just do this. Okay, so add option real quick. I'm gonna just change this to string. And I'm gonna do that. So this will allow me to actually like give each conversation new name. Like each set of conversations because yeah, there we go. So I'm gonna say Vanatos Vanna introduction. And it won't be linked over here yet. I gotta do a couple more things. So I can actually take this conversation title. I actually go over to the graph importer and where I'm actually like getting the node options here. I can actually do this. We can actually conversation entry node context. All right, sooner or later I'm gonna have to like put this inside of the. I can actually put this inside this area, but for now, no. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say dialog get node option by name. Oh wait, that's old. I forgot that is the old implementation. I was like, that's not right. Okay, there we go. I also say, yeah, this is what I was looking for. Name equals we could process a model. Oh, actually. Yeah, that's where I was like, wait a second, that should actually be up here. I was like, what? I was like, so basically, instead of having to do like conversation here, I'm gonna do this. So, I'm gonna make it where I'm gonna link this up. So whenever I hit save, it'll actually save the conversation name and the global identifier. And the reason why I need a global identifier, if I actually like go into the game and hit play real quick. So I actually have a global identifier pointing to the conversations. So that's what this value, or did we drag that? That's what this value is for. So I need to make it where whatever value I have inside the dialog node actually is properly saved here. Guess it's actually not being properly set right now. So let's actually do this. We are going to say, I'm actually going to just say conversation. We can actually do conversation dot name. and I'm gonna actually say context node dot get node options by name, and I can actually say context node, or I can actually say conversation node, not context node, and I can actually say title name dot try get value. Actually, right, I forgot that's actually an out, so I can actually just do this. I can actually say try get out string. Wait a sec, t value, try get value. Oh, whoops, I forgot the out word. I was like, wait a second. All right, so that way that's actually saved. I wonder, instead of actually saying yeah, I might actually do it this way then. That should still, like, since I'm doing it out here, like, yeah, okay. Just making sure. So I should be able to GUID ID. Sorry. Yeah, and then I should be able to say. Okay, maybe I should rename this to a conversation GUID instead of ID. I actually probably should do that real quick. You know what? For now, it's okay. All right. Now, if I actually do this, I can actually say, okay, so if I actually, I'm gonna get rid of these two earlier testings. So now if I hit save, it should create a new conversation. Okay, yep, there we go. Dan says this introduction. Okay, now if I take this number and if I actually go into if I actually go to the NPC, and I should be able to just put this in, and if everything works, I should be able to see that conversation now. Hey, working dialogue. Hell yeah. All right. Okay, cool. Mostly working dialogue. Still got a couple of things we got to do. Let's go back and let's actually do this real quick. Oh, wait a second. That just double it? Wait a second. Oh, okay. I haven't made it where, like, if you already have, so at the current moment, it's just adding onto the dialogue thing, or the set of, like, entries for dialogue. I need to make it where, like, it checks says, hey, this conversation already exists. If it already exists, instead of, like, creating it, just edit it. Mm-hmm. There's a couple of different ways I could do this. Okay, actually, yeah, we could do this. Yeah. We could say if conversation dot dot count. So let's say -1. Yeah, we'll say greater than I. So basically, if the conversation already exists and we're just editing it, entries, just edit it instead of adding new ones. Entries. If I can spell correctly. Okay, yeah. So else add. Um, um, if no, actually, how about this? If no entries already existed, then add them. I can just say conversation dot dialogue entries. We're going to just say I. Um, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that works. Text equals text. I'm also gonna do speaker name equals speaker name. This way we're not editing, or sorry, we're not adding new like conversation entries every single time. Now, so hopefully, welcome all. I'm gonna say, did this work? So hopefully now instead of adding new entries to it, it'll actually edit the entries. I hope. Sort of. Where am I? Ah. Okay, so it worked, but it at like the very last one. Maybe let's say oh wait, that actually might have been needing to be I. Try to skin. So I'm gonna do, or we're gonna test this out. Okay, did this work? So hopefully it edits instead of adds. Yay! Okay, there we go. Okay, now we can just edit the dialogue. Cool. So there we go. Now we can actually edit dialogue and so forth. So I'm actually gonna now do a couple more things. So we no longer need this out. We actually no longer need this for the specific like block thing. So if you notice here, I have like out thing. We no longer need that because we're actually using the entire context block as out. So yep, there we go. And reason why we're going to have input here is let's assume we have a dialogue choice option. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go here. I'm going to actually add a new node. This is going to be a block node. And I'm going to say conversation choice. Conversation choice. Block node. And so I don't re-embed the will. I can literally just take this, go here. I'm going to just copy this name over. Editor dot dialogue graphs, and we're going to just pull in this namespace. And then also do that. So now I have it where we'd say conversation. Let's actually do this. You know, I have not tested this out yet, but I wonder if you could actually send like an actual node along here. So I want to see, I want to actually see if I can actually say conversation context node. Don't think this works, but I'm kind of curious. I want to see. So we're gonna go here. Conversation. Oh, whoops. Conversation context. Actually, let's switch those two. I was like, Alright, so now we should see it. I don't think you'll. Okay, yeah, that's what I figured. Oh wait, actually, the conversation context. Let's do this. Yep, no, okay. I figured it wouldn't be. But it was worth a try. So what I'm gonna do is this instead. Just for now, I'm gonna do I'm going to actually wait before I hit save. Okay, yeah, that doesn't allow output ports. I was gonna see if it still made like our actually wait, no. Instead of I just realized instead of doing options, I need to do undefined ports. And I can actually just say context.add output port. I want to see if I don't think even though like conversation node is serialized, I do not think it will work this way, but we can test out. All right, so instead of saying that, now I'm gonna just actually don't need this at all anymore because I actually only need output ports. I'm gonna say this one's a string, or let's just say choice 1. Oh, ooh, it might actually be possible. Oh, okay, so the output ports might actually let me do this. Okay, that is actually going to be a good win. Cool. Okay, so, yeah, so we can do this. That is actually a huge win. I wasn't sure if it was possible, but let's actually do this instead. Let's do let's do connected context or input context port. Conversation context port. Let's actually do this. Yeah. All right. We're actually going to do this. So I now can actually go here and I'm going to just say, let's do conversation context node, and I'm going to do set this up and fingers crossed. And now, okay, so now maybe, yeah, it will work. All right, so we can do choices. Okay, cool. So yeah, okay, so now we actually could have like a little choice node system that actually is kind of cool. My only thing is I want to have it where I could actually have like text, like string and stuff here for the things. Okay, might have to do it this way then. So currently at the moment, we can't do like so we don't have like a little input like or like a little field represented, because I'd like to have a field. If you notice, you can have like a little like input field here, or you can have like a little field with input, but looks of it. Okay, I know how to do this. I got an idea. This is actually completely doable. I will need on defines, because what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to say add no option. Now I'm going to just say let's do let's actually just say a string. I'm going to say choice 1. I'm going to say choice 2. And I do not need this for the conversation choice node block. We don't need that. So need that. So we don't need this either. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have where we're going to just say, you know what? Node options and ports could actually share a name. If I remember right, I read that. So I could just say choice 1 name equals choice 1. And I could literally do same thing here where I could just say choice 2. Sooner or later, I would like to have it where I could have dynamic options, but that's okay. For now, that is completely okay to just do this. So I'm thinking I can actually just have a port and an option have the same exact name. And I kind of wonder if the Unity devs actually intended this. So if I do this, oh, whoops, accidentally bumped something. Yep, okay, get rid of this one. Might have to delete that one first and then re-add it. There we go. Yeah, okay, so this will actually completely work. Cool. So we could, so we should actually be able to have like a lot of different options. So I want to see, okay. I could just make him like just for this test be a little sarcastic. Actually, I might want to have it where choice block node, maybe have like choice context nodes, because whenever I'm doing like the importer, it might be a little bit annoying actually. So I might actually do this. Yeah, this probably be the best way. Conversation choice context node. So instead of yeah, the more I think about it, instead of having it where it actually links to that, it's actually probably a better idea if I actually do this instead. Come on, Unity, open it up. I've been clicking on it. Oh, it actually moved it there. That's why. I'm going to do this real quick. I'm gonna take this in there, and we're gonna say system dot serializable. Get rid of that. Editor dot dialog graphs. Import this name using statement, and then we're gonna just do this. Oh yeah, I was like, wait a second, what? That should be right. All right, we're gonna have to do this now. So instead of conversation node, we're gonna say choice node, or choice conversation choice context node instead. Great. Because they haven't like updated their like serialization for like how nodes and stuff work, I'm gonna actually delete these real quick, like delete the connections real quick. Yep. So now if I actually might have to delete this notice. I look forward to whenever they update where I don't have to do that anymore. So now that I got that, I can actually like re-add it in, and now I should be able to just choose a choice for my dialogue conversation. Yay. Choice context node. And then what we're gonna have to do is go in here, and we're gonna say, actually just because I'm too lazy, because I don't want to like have to type this over and over again. I'm gonna say that, and I'm gonna do let's do input node, or yeah. I might actually just create a class that just has like a like reusable constants, like input node constant, or output like input port name, something like that. I don't know. Input port. So we're gonna do that, and then that should now let me actually do this. Okay. Oh, whoops. Wrong one. On port, define ports. I was like, wait a second. I was like, that's not right. It's been a very long week for me. And we're gonna do conversation context node. Yay! So now if I do this, I should be able to have that. Yes, awesome. Okay, so at the current moment, you'll see, oh, hey, there's no like, I can't add any like input blocks or anything. All right, that's a simple thing. So if I go here, there's this use of context attribute, right? So I should be able to say conversation. Ooh, did they not make it where you can actually add this onto multiple things? That's gonna be sucky. Okay, maybe this. Okay, maybe they have it where you pass it in as array. I'm hoping that would kind of be rough if they didn't do that. Okay, yeah, they just made it where you pass it in as array. And now it's gonna be like, that could be a blocker to what I was trying to do. All right, now if I actually do it, why is there two different ones? Okay, that is, wait, they did also, okay, that might be like something mentioned to them. Oh no. Oh, okay, that is a slight issue. Okay, So that is a bug that I will have to report to. I mean, this is literally the first version, like not even the first stable release. This is the first test release of this. So like, I understand a couple different bugs, you know, here and there. That is kind of rough though. Oh, it didn't even. I just realized not only is it not letting me add like the original node I had here, it's not even letting me add that. Ooh. Alright, so that's gonna be something I have to make a little workaround for. That's okay, honestly. Alright, how can I, yep, okay. Yeah, so, ooh, that's weird. I'm gonna go check to see how Unity is doing this. Oh, let me go here. Okay, so it is initialize new instance of. Okay, so that is actually supposed to be allowed. That is actually, okay, so yeah, that's just a bug. That is actually just a bug. Actually, wait, I want to see something. C# param type. I'm gonna actually like look up something for param type real quick before I actually say, hey, this is a bug on Unity side. Okay, yep, that's how you're supposed to do it. So yeah, that might actually just be a bug on Unity side of things. Okay, context node, conversation entry node, yeah. Okay, yeah. That is possibly just a small bug. Because you're supposed to make it where, oh. Why? That's why, because now it's not working on the other one. Lovely. So I can still do that and so forth. But now I can't use it in the other one. Ah, that's just fantastic. Is there a use with? Okay, well, that's not what I was thinking of looking into, but I actually am glad I randomly saw that, because that is actually something that I will actually was going to be doing use with graph type of. I'm going to say dialogue graph. I was actually planning on doing that because at the current moment, you can actually, any node you create, you can technically just put on any graph. So you can make a node that works across all graphs. I was trying to figure out earlier if they have a built-in filter system, but by looks of it, they do, which is good. So I'm actually going to just go in real quick before I forget and be like, hey, you can't do that. Unfortunately, it looks like for the choice system, I'm going to have to actually create a separate like dialogue entry. So I might create like a dialogue choice node. I'll have to figure it out. So what I might actually do is, instead of having this, I might have it where, oh man, I know I'm saying a lot, but that's because I'm trying to think like what would be the best way. Make sure I can still like handle those. Okay, yeah, just making sure. Well, could just create a, so saying a block node, I might just make, or context node, I might just make the choices as a string node, and then, okay, do I actually, that's perfect. Yeah, that might actually work perfectly fine. So what I'm doing here, since I have an input node, what I could do instead of making this a context node, I'm going to make this into a block node real quick. or not a block node, but a just a normal node. So this is now going to be just a normal node. And this is going to allow me to do a couple different things. First thing is I can actually do what I was planning on doing a second ago. I'm actually overcomplicating this. Okay, so in our options thing here, I might be able, like I was trying to figure out how am I gonna do like the texting and then so forth. But you know what, now since I think about it, I might, yeah, I don't even need to, ooh, okay. I could just do that, couldn't I? I might not even need this. Like, no joke, I might not even need this. Like, note at all. What if I just did like a... Yeah, I might not even need this at all. That's the think about it. Because what I could do is I could just have like the this here be like the string that shows up on like the choice option boxes, and I could literally just go and be like, okay, but this here, I wonder if I can. We're gonna find out. So I want to create a. I have no idea if this is gonna work. Dialog block node. We're gonna say block node. And I'm actually gonna say abstract class. And what I'm gonna do is I want to see if I actually just make this as this is still like, would this still work? I'm assuming so. I mean, we're gonna find out though. So if I actually just, yes, okay. So reason why I was checking that. So if I were to turn one of these into like the output nodes into a dialog block node. If I were to do this instead, even though this is an abstract class, I might still have to say serializable. I want to see this. Do these still appear? Let me actually delete this and re-add them just in case. Okay. Output dialog block node. Okay, cool. So if I were to say, and the reason why I want to do this, instead of at the current moment, like the conversation entry thing, I'm gonna have I might have like a crap ton of import nodes, depending, or not inside the, inside the context node. I really don't want to have all these like import nodes and stuff, or import input ports. Wow, I'm really tired. So what I might try to see is, so if I go to like the conversation node, oh, that's gonna make this a block node though. You know what? That's okay. That's actually okay. And the reason why it's okay is, yeah, you know what? That's okay. We're gonna roll with it for a second. Does interfaces work with this? Actually, that might be. Oh God. I don't know if interfaces actually work for it. I'm gonna just say interface test. I do not know if the new UI toolkit system or Graph Toolkit systems allows interfaces for this interface test. Okay, so that should let me put in any type of dialog node. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to choice block node, and I'm actually going to say this is dialog node. Or actually, I'm going to do this so I don't mess with those. I'm going to say this is dialog node. I'm going to just say output node or port. We're gonna try this and see if this works. Because I want to make it where like I can connect multiple types of like nodes into the same thing without having to have several different like port options. So if I say conversation context node here, so obviously if I, yes, it does work. Oh, okay. That is beautiful. Cool. So instead of saying import input conversation, I can actually just do that. So I'm gonna say this. So now I can actually put in multiple types of node values there. I'm gonna actually get rid of this. I'm gonna actually, oh no, am I gonna have to like, oh no, okay, good. So I can actually do this now and yes, oh, it works. All right, so what if I do this? So if I actually create another context node, and let's say the context node also has output, if we want to do like output for this, let's do, wait, I don't think you can have, like I know options and port types can have the same, like you can have like a node option with the same value, but I don't know if output and input ports are, okay, we're gonna test this out. We're gonna see if like you can have them with the same key. That would actually be useful, because if we can do that, that would actually make this, I'm gonna actually make this a little bit bigger. Okay, so that works. Does this work? Yes. Awesome. Cool. Okay, so if I actually delete these now, I'm gonna actually get rid of this. So I'm actually gonna just do that. I'm gonna delete the test conversation. Wrong one, meant to click that one. So if we say, all right, we're gonna do this, hit save, it creates the conversation. It actually properly brought in the conversation name. So if I actually click play and if I actually go here, welcome, test conversation, hey, it works, awesome. Okay, so that part works, and now I'm going to, oh, I forgot to delete this random thing. I gotta actually delete that real quick. I was testing out something and I forgot to remove the label. All right, cool. Okay, so we can actually save conversations to dialogue database. Beforehand, I was literally just doing this by hand. Like over here, I was actually like typing this out and everything, and actually going through here. The only problem with that is when you get a lot of conversations, it might start getting annoying to be like, okay, what was my conversation with Thanatos, or this character, that character, stuff like that. Or it would get annoying to start doing like a branching dialogue, so you can actually like choose dialogue options and stuff. But so now with the dialogue editor, I can actually start working with that. Okay, cool. So next thing we got to do is, right now it only reads the entry blocks. We need to read the conversation block node. So that actually is creating conversations we can actually have in game. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to make it where conversation nodes work. If I actually go here, I'm actually going to get rid of some of these. I might be able to actually completely delete this one in the future, but for now I'm keeping it just for testing. All right, so if we go here, I can actually say case. So inside the dialog graph importer, I can actually get rid of a lot of this stuff now because we were just testing out some things. And oh, actually, I'm gonna actually bring this to a different project in a little bit, or a different version of Unity. So I'm not gonna delete that yet. But and basically how we're working is like whenever the dialog graph is saved, we have a scripted importer that actually reads the dialog graph that's actually being saved, and we actually go through the nodes and get the node options by name. So like inside a conversation context node, I can actually get the actual like block node data. So like the speaker node, the text node and stuff like that. And we can actually take that and process them to create a full-on conversation, and there's basically a case statement here, or sorry, switch state, and this is actually where the dialogue node type is processed. So instead of conversation node, I can actually say conversation choice node, block node, and probably should go ahead and just do patterns for this block node, and we're gonna do this conversation. So we can actually take some of this out and put it in here somewhat. Oh yeah, and break. So conversation, oh, I spelled that twice in a row wrong. And actually don't need that because that is actually just directly the node. Oh, you know what? I just realized. So conversation entry node, we actually, oh god, this is going to be a double case statement because the conversation context node actually can have like block nodes in them. Okay, so this is going to be really annoying. Actually, no, you know what? That's actually not a problem. We actually do not need to worry about that. Because I can actually go here and say, if the conversation, yeah, we can actually do this. I can say is a conversation choice node, a specifically block node. I'm going to say conversation choice block, and I can actually use the data from there. So I can actually read this. I should be able to see like the get yeah. There we go. And are these like output node? Yeah, okay, so we're gonna need to get the output nodes. Put node. Get output or output port by name. God, this now I'm gonna say conversation dot do I even have choice? What I have like? Did I not make this? I swear I made this public, right? Right? Okay. Conversation choice block node. Yeah. Okay. So why is it public string? Well, that's just lovely. Okay. And let me guess, if I actually just get the class itself, it's gonna see it right away. Yep, okay, I see how this is. Alright, JetBrains writers, I know that's possible. I know that's possible. Alt, oh yeah, you know what? I also need to have, I actually need two of these. Speaker name. And the reason why I need two of these is so we can actually see who's speaking. Actually, we don't need speaker name because we're actually going to just be showing like yeah, we actually don't need speaker name. We just need that text. And but we we will actually do one more thing because we need choice name number 2, choice 2. Says saying I'm going to say choice 1 and choice 2. Choice 2. At the current moment, we're not doing anything with these to do. inject them into a choice conversation. Or conversation choice entry. Which I actually need to create this class. Unfortunately, I gotta, like, that's all the time I have for, like, before I gotta join into work meetings, so I'm actually gonna pause here. I was just playing around, testing out this. I'm actually gonna make an actual video. I just want to, like, test this out on stream and see what I could do with it. Oh, I forgot to get rid of that case statement. I was like, what? Oh, instead of doing if statements, I should also, I just realized. Okay, to do. Replace, busy if. Oh wait, don't forget. But anyways, okay, so I at least learned a couple things about the dialogue system. I'm really happy I can actually just like output this stuff. Oh, before I forget, I just realized dialogue node block. Yeah, instead of saying that, we're gonna say block node. And I'm gonna say dialogue node, get rid of that, because that was just me seeing if that was possible. And we now know it is. I'm gonna have to delete the one node I already have. Nope, okay, good. And then let's make sure that actually is working. Cool. Alright. I'll work on the choice system in a little bit. I just want to set up some things because I had some test nodes that I was working on before and I wanted to move them over and actually make them proper. But now I can actually like get the conversation ID. I can actually update conversations instead of just delete or add them, which is good. I will work from here later. I'll do more later, but yeah, got a choice node system. Anyways, thank you for anybody that joins or sees this. This is literally just a test of me messing around, just doing it like just trying to figure stuff out on live stream. Some of this API I've not seen. Some of it was literally me learning on the spot, which is actually I kind of enjoy stuff like that. But anyways, I am heading out to do